Our last exponential equation problem is one that a lot of people make harder than it should be. It is lengthy, but it's actually very straightforward algebra. So we have, right now, two exponents with our variables in them. We have two different bases, so you cannot turn this into a log equation. Yes, the bases are isolated, but what base are we going to pick, 3 or 4? So we don't know. We cannot turn this into a single log. What we're going to have to do is introduce either a common log or a natural log onto both sides. As long as we do it to both sides and it's the same base, we're not changing the problem. So in this case, most people usually pick a common log, which is just a log base 10. You could easily pick a natural log. I'll go with the common log. So we're going to introduce a log base 10. You've got to be careful that this 3 does not go down to the base. Your base is 10. Yes, it's a base 3 here, but when we introduce the log, it is base 10 that we're introducing. We have to do it on both sides. So 4 to the x plus 2. Now if we're looking at this, we're trying to get up to this exponent. We've turned it into a log. Think properties. Well, we have an exponent. We can use our power property to flip these exponents to the front so that we no longer have exponents. So when I do that, we end up with 2x minus 1, and that is being multiplied by log of 3 based on our power property. Same thing can happen on the right side. So x plus 2 times log base 10 of 4. We need to get x. That's what we're trying to do. We're trying to solve for x. So if we can get all of our x's together, all of our non-x's on the other side, we can then solve for x. So in order to do so, we have to distribute to get rid of our parentheses. So we're going to have 2x times log of 3 minus 1 times log of 3, just distributing through. And then we have x times log of 4 plus 2 times log of 4. So when I told you guys it's basic algebra, I wasn't kidding. You just distribute. Trying to get x's together. So we're going to get all of our common terms, our like terms, to the one side. I'm going to pull all of the x terms to the left, all of my non-x terms to the right. So we're going to have 2x log of 3. That's not going anywhere. This x log of 4, I have to subtract it to get to the other side. And then we're going to take my 2 log of 4 that was already on the right, and we're going to add this log of 3 to pull him to the right side. So we're getting closer. Now, whenever we have two x's in this, we can say, what is our greatest common factor? Well, in this case, it's an x. We can factor an x out of both terms. So we're going to pull that x out. What's left is 2 log of 3 minus log of 4. There's really nothing we need to do to the right side because our goal is to get x by itself. So we are pretty much one step away. We have x times this value. And remember, log base 10 of 3 is a number. So this really is just one value. This over here is just one value. We just haven't found it yet. So now, in order to undo multiplication, we're going to divide both sides by our 2 log of 3 minus log of 4. We're going to do that the same thing on the right side. This right here is what you will type into your calculator, and just be extremely careful with parentheses. Make sure that you put a parenthesis around the numerator to start it. You're going to go through and it's going to automatically pop up with a parenthesis before you put that 4 in there, so close that. It's going to automatically pop up with a parenthesis in front of 3, close that, and close it to say that we're done with the numerator. So make sure you guys are careful with your parentheses. When you go through and you type this in, you're going to end up with x equal to 4.77, and that's your final answer. So yes, it was a lot of work. A lot of these steps can be shortcutted. You can skip through them. Typically when I go through and distribute, I go ahead and pull all of the x's to the left, all the non-x's to the right as well. Another thing that some people like to do is at this step, they go ahead and type in log base 10 of 3 and they get a decimal out. Now you have to be careful with your rounding that you don't shortcut and you don't round it too soon, too much, or too much too soon. But if you don't like seeing all of these logs and you want to type in numbers, you could do that.